More than $67 million in coronavirus relief funding has made its way from the state of West Virginia to help communities feeling the impacts of the pandemic. It's where we begin tonight. Thank you for joining us. I'm Rich Pierce.
And I'm Kate Davison. Several $1 million landing right here in our region. But where's all of that money going? News 9's Gage Goulding has been digging through the paperwork. He's joining us live now with his findings. Gage.
Good evening, Rich and Kate. Thank you. We're talking about this money. There's been a lot of it floating around to our portion of the northern panhandle, more than $3 million. But how does cities and villages get it, and where is it going?
You apply, they review it, and then they send you a letter saying this is what you asked for, this is what we're paying, and this is why we're paying.
It takes a little bit more than just that, but it's the basics of how communities around the area, including FOLLANSBEE, have been able to receive money from the Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security Act. Commonly known as the CARES Act, it's a $2.2 trillion stimulus bill divided amongst the states in response to the economic fallout of the pandemic. The Mountain State receiving $1.25 billion and sharing some of that with local governments. In FOLLANSBEE, the city received $220,237.
How is that going to help the city?
Well, basically, it's the government's way of trying to make the cities whole again.
Most of that money coming in reimbursements for wages paid to the city's police force, totaling to nearly $219,000, as well as $1,200 for emergency medical care. The money helping to lessen the blow of lower revenues from income streams like business and occupation taxes. Much of the same in MOUNDSVILLE, where the city received a total of $381,986. That money coming to reimburse the city for payroll expenses. The breadwinner for the Northern Panhandle, however, is the city of Weirton. They received more than $2.382 million from the state government for COVID-19 relief. Out of all the payments made to cities and counties across the state, Weirton finishes out the top 5.
Weirton's in the top 5 in the state for receiving COVID-19 funds. Do you think that money's well-deserved and being well spent here in the city?
Well, I'll tell you, we're real cautious about it.
Weirton received money for emergency medical care and medical sheltering, some of which city officials say is for PPE and the increased expenses in the sanitation department. The bulk of the money coming from payroll reimbursements, a whopping $2.359 million.
Basically for reimbursement for our safety officers, police and fire.
After losing $785,000 in tax revenues last quarter alone, with a bigger hit expected this current quarter, the city is carefully watching where the money goes. But they are looking to make some COVID-19 improvements to their buildings.
We're talking about simple things like water fountains that you don't press on, commodes that self-flush. We're just not going to go out and have parties with it.
Now, you might be wondering, one city that was not mentioned, Wheeling. To date, that city has only received just over $46,000. Now, Rich and Kate, there's more than $3.122 million approved and waiting to be delivered to the friendly city. You can check out all of the CARES Act contributions in West Virginia. Just head over to our website, WTOV9.com. Reporting live in downtown Wheeling for News 9 at 6, I'm Gage Goulding.